Good morning, beautiful people. Join me on my Fit for 30 journey. How I trained insane because I didn't want to remain the same. It just takes one person in your life to make you want to be the best version of yourself. It's safe to say, between 2018 and 2019, I was in the worst state I've ever been in. 2015, I did an amateur bodybuilding show for a local gym and got myself in terrific shape. Put loads of muscle on from being an absolute scrawny little geezer, to be honest. And I had some difficulties immediately after that. I'm not going to dwell too much on them, but my life took a very different turn. However, the business was booming. So the business went well, personal work life went well, but my health just took a complete and utter back seat. I did a little bit of training, but it wasn't a priority for me at that moment in time. I put everybody else first. I found out that I had sleep apnea. I've never realised that I had it. Basically, it's something you're born with. But I never knew because I was always physically fit. Used to do competitive martial art fighting, used to love training. But I got myself in such a sorry state of affairs because I just lost who I was as a person. Moving forward, I was determined to change. So I started taking a few progress photos. It's a shame that they're not all exactly the same, so you're going to have to persevere with some multiple different angles of me looking like a chunky monkey and getting myself into shape. In February, I committed to start my Fit for 30 journey. It started by something really simplistic, something like just challenging myself every day to do something more than what I normally do. I started off with the push-up challenge. No matter where I was, I didn't care. Every day, I would do the push-ups. It was 30 push-ups for 30 days. I did it as many push-ups as I possibly could within a minute. Sometimes it was reaching 60, etc, etc. And it was phenomenal. It was really good for me because it got me every morning doing something. And then on top of that, I added a burpee challenge. And then on top of that, I added running every morning. Before I knew it, I actually had a dynamic where I was doing broken workouts throughout the day, which I started to see the transformation. I then found some passion, that fire within, that kind of like Rocky Balboa, I'm coming back moment. I went into doing Kung Fu. After having a very heavily strong martial art background, I seeked out something that was a little bit more tranquil and did Kung Fu. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Did a couple of fights on behalf of the Kung Fu Academy. Then I ramped it up and joined a massive gym. It was a 24-hour gym, pure bodybuilding gym. So I pushed every morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, grinding, running, jogging, lifting, doing those bro splits, doing what I knew and what felt comfortable for me. And the plateau happened. I got stuck, became complacent, and I couldn't move forward. So I started a little bit of posing routine back in like I did in 2015. Started taking some progress photos. My weight was pretty much the same, but I could see that the body changes were happening, and that's how I remotivated myself to continue moving forward. I basically painted a little bit of a picture of how my body was changing, which was inspiring me instead of looking at the weight. I then fine-tuned my diet accordingly because I realised that through what I was doing, I was actually losing muscle as well as losing fat. So I changed my splits to doing something a little bit more cardio-based in the morning, weight training around 2-3 o'clock-ish, and then in the evening I'd do things like yoga, I'd do things like posing classes, I'd do things like spin classes, I'd do my Kung Fu, I'd do my martial arts, I'd do drop-in sessions at multiple different martial art gyms because it's where my bread and butter was. I wouldn't just train at one place. I trained at so many different areas. Big shout out to Pro Strength and Fitness in Swindon. Love that place. The Oasis in Swindon. Link Centre. Absolutely love it. There's a Krav Maga school that I went to very for a short period of time in Wales, and big shout out to those guys. They're amazing. Big shout out to the Swindon Kung Fu Academy. Big shout out to 24 Hour Gym in Swindon. The Devere in Swindon. Swindon CrossFit, so many more, and if I haven't mentioned them, I apologise. But I did everything I possibly could to motivate myself to continue moving forward. There was times where I wanted to give up, there's times where I had enough, but I kept looking at my daughter thinking, I can't. And she needs me, and there's no way that I'm going to let my health deteriorate so much that I'm not going to be here. Even when I went to hotels, I would take progress photos, I would train, I would push myself. I would go to the gyms in the morning. I'd make sure I do it after meetings. I've met some wonderful people along the way. I mean, amazing people that have really enhanced my life and made me a better version of myself, just purely by their power and energy resonating towards me and inspiring me to do better. You can see a few of these before and after pictures, and I'm hoping that it comes across strong. I used to be a scrawny guy, ridiculously scrawny, nothing on me but competitively for. I then put some mass on, which took a long time, and then I refined that mass through bodybuilding and going into posing and going on stage and doing what I could. Then I let it all go. But just look at me now. Look at how much I've transformed. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Like, comment and subscribe to Warhorse Training. If you want your very own personalised, tailor-fitted training plan, diet plan, or to achieve a transformation like I have, drop me a message, give me a call. We're in this together. No one's alone. Thanks for listening.